famous professor at Harvard University, has created a series of models that help us understand competitiveness in our industries. And another one of the models that he's created, and is very popular in terms of the use, understanding what happens within a particular company, is called the generic value chain. The generic value chain is aimed at helping us understand how goods and services move through an organization and value is added to them. What we see here is the value chain has been popularized by Porter. We see above the horizontal line activities that are called support activities. These are what many of us would call overhead activities. Below the horizontal line are primary activities, and these are the primary value-adding activities for a company. We have inbound logistics, which have to do with getting raw materials into our companies. We have operations, which performs operations on those raw materials. Outbound logistics is the process of moving the finished goods into finished goods inventory and ultimately in the hands of our customers. Marketing and sales is the part of the value-adding process of actually marketing a good and service and selling it. And finally, service has to do with after-sales service, and is an important part of the primary activity. Procurement helps us buy things along the entire primary value chain. Technology development has mostly to do with the R&D function for an organization, developing new products, but could also include development of information technology processes to help the primary activities. HR is HR, making sure we have people all along the value chain, and infrastructure has to do with legal infrastructure, accounting infrastructure, all of those things that need to be in place to make sure our companies can do whatever it is they need to do. As we take a look at the value chain, one of the useful parts of the information systems that support these have to do with particular information systems that cover portions of the value chain. Here we are focusing on the supply chain management system that covers the inbound logistics operations and outbound logistics of a company. The supply chain management system is the set of IT tools that helps us manage our suppliers and the raw materials that they provide us. It schedules people, can help us schedule people to turn those raw materials into finished goods, and helps us kind of manage our finished goods inventory. Now we compare that to the customer relationship management system, or the CRM, which starts at the outbound logistics, taking a look at our finished goods, helping us sell our system, our products, market and sell it, and then after sales service. Customer relationship management system have to do with customer facing systems, and those systems that help us understand what our customers want and need from us. Now we overlay both of these together, and we see that they overlap in outbound logistics. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Now we layer on top of the primary activities of the value chain with the support activities, and we see that enterprise resource planning systems, or ERP systems, such as Oracle Financials or PeopleSoft or SAP, cover mostly those activities that are support activities. And we see that the combination of both of ERP, supply chain, and customer relationship management systems, they all focus on outbound logistics, and it's outbound logistics that is the key component to understanding the value chain and the IT systems that support it. The outbound logistics is where finished goods ends up. and the finished goods is the output of supply chain management, the input of CRM, and it helps us understand the ERP part of our accounting and production and labor systems. And the combination of all of these things gives us not only our sales information, but this is where cost of goods sold ends up. So the cost of goods sold, the cost of selling, all of our overhead calculations end up affecting the activities that are associated with outbound logistics. As we start looking at the value chain, we notice that the word chain implies there's a chain of activities, and we see here with the big white arrow here that one company, a supplier, provides in some cases provides input to a producer, which provides input to a distributor, which provides input to a customer, and thereby the value chain is linked. Below the white arrow we see that the firm value chain interacts with the buyer value chain. So if we take a look at the buyer has inbound logistics. So there's an arrow going to inbound logistics. Where does that come from? It comes from the marketing and sales primary activity of the firm. And the outbound logistics and the procurement from the buyer's value chain goes back to outbound logistics operations and inbound logistics to the firm value chain. In other words, our value chains are linked, and that's an important thing for us to understand. As we started looking at value chain analysis, and certainly there are many IT aspects of this, we start learning that the value that goods and services have as they move through our organization can be enhanced with IT, and we use the value chain as a way of understanding where that value is added.